Thank you.
Joe.
That's a nice introduction.
You're welcome.
Will you travel with me and like everywhere I go?
Oh, look, if the money's right.
Like I go to the ticket counter at the airport, you can say, "Hey, it's Joe Flanigan."
I feel like I'm on.
Maybe I'll get upgraded or something. I don't know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Welcome to Melbourne.
Thank you. I love this town.
We have got a bunch of fans here for you who I'm sure are just champing at the bit to ask you some questions. So, kids, hands in the air if you've got something for Joe. Any questions? Where are you? This lady here on the aisle I think is going to be first.
I can't believe you guys are all here to listen to me, unless of course Paul was so uninteresting. This is our chance at redemption. I'm dressed, aren't I dressed really funny? Oh, I'm sorry. Hey. Shut up.
Hi, Joe.
That was Deus Ex Machina.
Thank
Hello.
you for coming down to Australia.
Could you speak up?
I said, thank you for coming to Australia to see us.
Thank you.
My question is, as an actor, you get to do lots of cool things, and I'm wondering what's the coolest thing you've got to do.
Before we get started, are you guys having a hard time hearing her too? Okay. Is there any way to turn, is there any way to be as loud as they are over there, I guess? Yeah, yesterday was it? Let's see.
I'm sure you've got to do lots of cool things as an actor, and I'm wondering what the coolest thing you've got to do because you're an actor is.
Okay, the question was, isn't it cool being an actor? What's the coolest thing you've ever done as an actor? Or, right? Yeah, if you can turn up the microphone for other people, that'd be great. God, I feel really fortunate to be able to do what I do. And it's really ironic that I'm actually an actor because I remember in college, if they asked me to read in class, I couldn't do it. I'd drop out of the class. I was like, not just shy, I was pathologically shy. And so I was in New York working at a magazine that I managed to get myself fired from. I was good at that. Acting's the only thing I've been fired from, you know. I mean, that's probably why I still do it. And I didn't know what to do, and my friends were acting a lot of money. Oh, can't be as exciting as it. All right. And I decided to do it because A, I had no money, and B, I was terrified. And I remember the first time I had to get up and perform a scene, and I thought my heart was gonna just like go, just run away or something. And then I did it, and it was over. And the teacher, this is a kind of a well-known acting school called Neighborhood Playhouse in New York, was an incredibly mean acting coach who would just tear people apart. He was frightening. And I got done with this whole thing, and he goes, "That's pretty good." Didn't say anything. Didn't say it was good, but he didn't say it was bad. All of a sudden, within like that flash, that just moment, I was like, holy smokes. I could do this. This would be incredibly cool. I've shut that possibility off my whole life because I was just shy. And so the fact that I'm just standing here right now is very weird. And so if you do the thing you're a little scared of, I think you'll live a pretty interesting life. Acting is interesting. You meet really cool people, you get to travel to some very cool places. The only problem with acting is supporting your family gets tricky because you make a lot of money and then you just don't know where you're gonna make any more money, if at all. So you go through these weird little financial troughs and crests, and it's not like a regular job where you could say in 5 years I'll be executive vice president of this, then you don't know. But the best thing is meeting the people and doing the stunts, shooting guns, like my guns. So I hope I answered your question. Thank you. I'm going to get comfortable and take off my coat. I don't know why I got.
You do that. We have another question down here. Big voice, please.
Hey, Joe.
That's better.
As you know, Jason Momoa came here yesterday, and he told us that you.
He lies.
Oh. And he said you two got up to some shenanigans and played some pranks on David Hewlett. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Some shenanigans. Somebody asked me this question yesterday, and the problem was we have children in the audience. Yeah, and they're not. These are not family-oriented stories. But I will tell you that David was the victim of a number of great jokes that Jason and I put together. And David was funny because David probably had one of the most difficult jobs on the show. So much dialogue. And, you know, he and I worked long hours. And sometimes he'd get pretty grumpy toward the end of the day. And one day, he drives this little red Echo. And you see him buzzing around, he's got his little GPS, and he's like... And he was really grumpy toward the end of the day, and I jump in my car, which is a, you know, double cab Ford truck. And Jason and I are driving back from set, which is an hour away from Vancouver. And it's like 16 hours, and we see David on the highway who's like, and he's been bitching and moaning about everything all day long. And so finally we're like, we pull up to him, Jason pulls his pants down and just like, he didn't just, I mean, he worked it. I didn't know David had whites that big. He almost drove off the road because it was such a disturbing sight. And then finally he smiled. To me, that was victory. He didn't want to smile. He wanted to be mad all day. So that was a very watered down version, by the way, of what happened.
We have a question at the front.
Okay.
Yesterday I asked your favorite stunt. Do you remember what your favorite stunt is?
Yeah. No. I don't. We did so many stunts, and let's see. I got to jump. Oh, I'll tell you, actually the most frightening stunt, it's always the most fun too, is they harness you to a wire. And we work in a sound stage that's about this big, it's huge. And they hook you up to the rafters. And it was, shut up, talking there. What was the name of the show where I beat myself up?
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger, yeah, Doppelganger. And I had to fight myself, and I actually, you know, had to do all the stunts on both sides. And the harness, it's a really dangerous thing. I go flying off the second floor balcony through the metal gate and out and over, and I'm all harnessed up, and you got to gird up, and they got to kind of tell you so that, you know, you gird up because you can throw your back out and everything. And I'm sitting there, do this big fight, and I went, it doesn't happen. And we do the whole thing again. The guy's screwed up. It doesn't happen. And the director stops. He goes, you know, I need to know what. Boom. I mean, I go flying right through, not the fake metal fence, the real one. But I went right through it. And of course, everybody was hovering around me because I was 2 floors down on the floor. But it looked great.